we're here at Money Live Summit here in London, and we're here with Tanya Juul Kjaer from iZettle. Thank you very much for taking a little bit of time to speak with us today.
Of course, happy to.
So perhaps maybe we could start a little bit about the company, a little bit of background for those that don't know about the lovely little terminal that we've all seen next to our favourite market stalls.
We started out a couple of years ago, and we basically provide a point-of-sale app to merchants combined with a terminal that they can take card payments with. We also provide a number of additional services such as access to capital. We have a lot of partner integrations, and of course reporting, analytics, all those types of things.
Interesting. So one of the things we find a lot with sort of fintech companies, and there's a lot of buzz around fintech per se, but actually, to all intents and purposes, you're more of a merchant service,
yes,
really, than a financial services provider.
Yeah, that's how we'd like to see ourselves. We'd like to see ourselves as a SaaS company who provide basically, tools for small merchants to help them drive their business. We want to help them from basically the get-go when they get started, provide them with a point-of-sale system, provide them with a back-office system so they can easily import and add their products, so they can very easily manage their sales essentially. Then payments, of course, is a part of it, and that has a fintech component, absolutely. But I think we see ourselves more as a service company than purely as a fintech.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So one of the burning questions that I've sort of had for you is that obviously we're looking into the future of financial services and where
yes,
things are going. At the moment, especially in London and the UK, it's cashless, it's contactless, it's tap in to pay. What's the future going to go? What happens when and if the cards disappear? What happens to our favourite little box with the iZettle logo on?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and it's something we obviously spend a lot of time thinking about, because I think I'll be the first person to say that payments in and by itself, and only card payments, that's a commodity, right? A lot of service providers of fintechs are offering that. I think we see a future that's going into capturing also alternative payment methods for the in-store. I think there is a great shift now with the online payments landscape that has been quite dominated with a lot of alternative and local payment methods. We now see them basically, a lot of them are trying to get into in-store, and iZettle of course have a fantastic platform for that. But change takes a long time, and for habit to change, that takes a long time too. And I think it's still so ingrained in the consumer to use their card, especially when they're shopping, in physical shops. So, and the card itself is also changing. It's changing from being a physical plastic card that you take with you, and it's a chip and you remember your PIN, to now it's, to a high degree it's virtualized. It's inside a wallet, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and different sort of tokenized options. You also have in-store environment where it's a card on file type of transaction. So I think the card today is also taking different forms. Yeah.
It's very interesting when you say that. I mean, obviously here in London, where we're based, we do feel like sometimes we're in a little fintech bubble where, you assume everybody pays with contactless, or actually you don't have a card anymore. It's all on your Google Pay or your Apple Pay. Yeah. But then you step maybe only sort of 40, 45 miles away from the centre, and there's people still with cash that are paying for things as well. So sometimes when we're in the fintech industry, we get a little bit sort of rose-tinted glasses into what the future is going to be and how quickly we might get there.
Yes.
But as you say, perhaps actually there is a large need to maintain some of these devices into that future as well.
Yeah, and basically change them into the future as well. I think you're completely right. I think when we work in the industry, we think that the world is going to change overnight. It doesn't. For habits to change takes a long time. And I think we have, quoting Bill Gates here, I think we generally overestimate the change that's going to happen in the next 2 years, and we totally underestimate the change that's going to happen for the next 10 years. You have, of course, something like contactless. Now that's, especially in London, because of TfL, everyone is using it because it's, it's part of habit. That's how you pay for transporting now. But contactless as a technology was introduced already in 2007. It was, TfL had their contactless pilot in 2014, and that sort of combined with that was the same time that Apple Pay announced that, the wallet, of course. So I think, and that has really driven the adoption. It's about solving a problem, and the problem specifically there was, standing in line to buy your train tickets. You don't have to do that anymore. So I think, especially when you work in fintech, you have to separate between what's great technology because it's, it's fun technology, versus is it actually solving problems?
Yeah, so there's a lot of solutions out there today that are, as I phrase it, solutions waiting for problems.
Yes.
Rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we don't have a lot of time because you're very busy. You've been speaking here at Money Live as well. What's the sort of the key things that iZettle are sort of looking at the moment and you guys are focusing on?
Of course. No, I think we are definitely focusing on alternative payment methods. We're definitely still very much focused on card acquiring. It is our bread and butter. We are, and I'm talking just purely from a payments perspective. I head up the payments area. We also focus a lot on enabling our products for partners. So we have great SDK products, so anyone can basically just integrate with our SDKs and have access just to our payments terminals. So we focus on those things, but we also, of course, have a great amount of focus on hardware and innovating within hardware. We just last week announced that we had our little cute reader. Now it's made out of ocean plastic, so 75% of the reader is made from recycled fishing nets from the Baltic
fantastic.
and the North Sea. So, but that's of course just innovating in hardware. We also very much looking to the hardwareless future. Like of course we are, we want to prepare ourselves for that as well, where payments is just coming as a software form, or in others' hardware essentially, but not our own proprietary hardware.
Excellent. Well, as I said, hopefully you'll have a continued interesting day here. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Of course, happy to.
Thank you very much.